If you are 18 years old, then you should be allowed to vote, right? Have you ever wondered how to use if statement in Python? This is the video to see. This is day 4. Therefore, I'm always going to be excited every day. This is day 4 of 100, and we'll be talking about if statements. So, my name is Simlaya, by the way. Let's check it out. Can you believe it's day 4 already? Welcome to day 4, and we'll be talking about if statements. If statements are very important in any programming language because they allow you to execute different block of code based on a certain condition. So this is helpful in decision making when your action is dependent whether the condition is true or false. So this is a sample of the syntax of an if statement. So you first have your if condition. So if this condition is true, then the code that follows would be executed. But if this condition is not true, then the next code would be executed. So condition, this is an expression that evaluates to either true or false. If it's true, this code will be executed. If it's false, then the code inside the else would then be executed. Now let me show you a very simple if else statement. So we want to check if a person is eligible to vote based on their age. So this is how a simple if statement will look like. Again, we're getting the input from the user. We want the user to enter their age. And based on the input of that user, we would check if the age is greater than or equal to 18, because 18 is like the age that a person can vote in most countries. And then we'll print out that yes, that person is truly eligible to vote. But then if this condition is not true, that means the person is less than 18 years old, then we want to print out that the person is not eligible to vote. So now let's run this and enter the age. So first I will enter 23. Imagine the user is 23. And then you see you are eligible to vote because 23 is greater than 18. Now let's run again and enter, for instance, 11 and enter. You are not eligible to vote because 11 is less than 18. So if the user enters an age 18 or older, the program prints that they are eligible to vote. Otherwise, it prints that they are not eligible to vote based on our if else condition. So now you might be wondering that is it possible to have multiple if conditions? And the answer is yes. It's possible to have multiple if conditions in your program. So then imagine like an exam and then there's like a grade. If you score above 90, you get A. If you score above 80, you get B. Above 70, you get C. And above 60, you get a D. And then if you get less than a 60, then you are failed. So in that kind of situation, you would use, that is multiple condition. You will use what is called ELF. So we have if, we have ELF, and we have else. So see, so now we're taking the inputs from the user to enter their scores. And if their score is greater than and equal to 90, we'll print that they've gotten an A. If it's not that, but it is greater than or equal to 80, they've gotten a B. If it's greater than or equal to 70, they've gotten a C. If it's greater than or equal to a 60, they've gotten a D. If it's none of the above, then they've gotten an F. So now let's enter a score. Let me enter 55. You failed. Why? Because 55 is less than 60. Let's enter another score. Let's enter 65. This would be a D because it's greater and equal to 60, but it is not greater than 70. So it's greater than 60, but not greater than 70. So it is a D. Let's run it again with 90, and that is an A. So the ELF allows you to check for more than one condition. So you can only use in your main if statement, you can only use if once and else once, but you can have multiple ELFs. And that's how you check if with multiple conditions. Then you might be wondering that can you have an if statement in an original if statement? That is, for example, imagine you want to calculate this or you want to get this information that if a user is 18 years old, then yes, then that means they can get the driver's license, for example. But if they are not 18 years old, maybe they cannot get it. So you're having like multiple condition that if are they up to 18, are they 1.8 meters tall? So if 18, if the one of the age condition is true, then it goes below to check that are they truly 1.8 meters tall, and then it continues like that. So you can have multiple nested if statements inside each other. Let me show you an example so it can be very clear. Still using the age. So say we want to get the age of the user. So then we'll now ask that if the user greater than or equal to 18, then we want to print that they are an adult. Then if the age that there was entered, if it's greater than 65, you see they are an adult and they are also a senior citizen. But if it's not greater than 18, it doesn't have to check in for this other if statement. It just goes immediately to the else statement. So let's run this. Let me enter an age. So for example, we enter your age 18. So you see it's equal to 18. It prints immediately that you are an adult. So let me now enter 70. So you see 70 is greater than 18. It prints you're an adult. And then it checks again that is 70 greater than 65. Yes, it's greater than 65. And then it prints you are also a senior citizen. But what if it's now something that is less than 18? You get you are a minor. So you can have nested if statements inside each other. You can still have other if statements in this that maybe if you're 90 or if you're 100, then it prints that, oh, you are the oldest in the town or something. And it can continue like that with nested if statements. Now, finally, we have logical operators. That is our and, or, and not. So we can combine, this one that we have nested conditions, we can make it one if statement rather than having if. If it works if it's something that would work for you, you can have it as you can have it together using a logical operators and, or, and not. Let me show you an example. Still using the same age. So we want to get the age of the user, and then we want to check that is the user greater than 18 and are they less than 65. If that's the case, then they are an adult. So you see, we're combining two conditions rather than having it as nested. Here we said greater than or equal to, but now we're using less than because we want to get this you are an adult. So we have is age less than 18, greater than 18, but are they less than 65? So rather than having, you can also have this if statement inside as a nested if, but now we're using logical operators. So now let's run that. And now we enter 25. 25 is greater than 18 and less than 65. So we should get you are an adult. So now let's enter 65. You get you're either a minor or a senior citizen because so both conditions have to be true. The person has to be greater than 18 and the age has to be less than 65 for it to count as an adult. But 65 that we entered here, it's not less than 65, it is equal to 65. So then that doesn't work. So it has to print you're either a minor or a citizen. So this is like a simple way of using if statement. It can get as complicated as you want. And there are some practice questions for you to try out. Again, try it out, leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know if you're able to solve it. Let me know if there's any question you would like me to solve, and I'll solve it. I'll try my best. So that's it for this video. As usual, the Jupyter notebook would be in my GitHub, link in the description. That's it for this video. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and to leave a comment. And the link to the notebook that we worked on is available in my GitHub. Link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.